G'day there, podcaster. Ben here, giving you a heads up on what's in this episode of the podcast. The Forbidden Folder, which does need a trigger warning. Some pretty heavy stories in there. Also, some stories that aren't so heavy. What happened at sea? And we also ask, what did your boss make you do? And Liam does a funny skit. Enjoy.
Live across Australia. This is Ben, Liam and Belle's Late Drive
on Nova.
Let's open up the Forbidden Folder, Ben and Belle.
And what a way to start said week, Liam, with the Forbidden Folder.
Yeah, it's where we keep all the taboo topics. This one came to me because I passed a hoarder house over the weekend, and I was like, man, that would suck. Like, not only does that bring the value of that place down, but if you were next to a hoarder house, like you owned a house next to a hoarder house, no one wants to live there, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, what's going on there? Like, it would literally, even if you're on the best street, it would bring the value down. But imagine if there was a murder house on your street. Because people would know about it. It's, oh, yeah, someone got murdered in there.
Yeah.
Like, surely, like, on that whole street, it's just like, oh, yeah, that's the murder.
Yeah,
you know.
I think legally they have to tell you, real estate
think you
agents as
do.
well have to say, oh, by the way, someone was murdered here.
I think there's a real small loophole, though, where it's like, if they ask, they have to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So if you walk into, like, for a rental inspection, you're like, yeah, nice. Yeah, the bathroom's way bigger than I thought. What's that big red mark on the carpet? They go, oh, double homicide. So that's why it is a little bit cheaper. And you go, no worries, we'll take it. We're in a crisis. 13-24-10. Have you lived in a murder house? We're assuming that you would know. Maybe it was 20 years ago. Maybe it was more recent. If you've lived in a murder house, you can remain anonymous, but we'd love to talk to you.
We have got great prizes to give away. 13-24-10. Rani in Brisbane joins us now. Have you lived in a murder house?
Yes, I have. Back when I lived in Sydney.
Tell us about it.
So it was a rental. It was my partner and our two kids, and a couple of weird things, creepy little things would happen in the home, and we always questioned about it. And then randomly one day we're at the bus stop across the road from my house, and a neighbour comes out and he's like, "Oh, you live in such and such's old house." I'm like, "Oh, we don't know the previous people, but yeah, we live there." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, he stabbed his wife to death in the home."
Oh, no.
And we looked at each other, and it was like, we never want to. I think we stayed there for like 2 more months because the house was creepy. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Yeah, when something that horrible's happened, you just don't want to. And so, Ronnie, they didn't tell you that when you got the rental?
Well, no, we didn't ask, and no one told us.
That's what I'm talking about. There's that loophole where they don't have to say it when you walk in, but if you ask, I think they have to disclose, yes, it happened.
Wow. And that's the thing, a lot of these would slip through the cracks. There's famous houses that are known for it, but something like that, unfortunately, would just slip through.
Kevin in Sydney, you've lived in a murder house. Tell us about it.
I've lived in a deceased estate. It's murder adjacent.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So, someone died in it, but there was no murder.
Yeah, it was a furnished apartment, and everything was, decent. But then there was one room which was brand new paint, brand new cupboards, brand new carpet, brand new bed, brand new mattress, everything. And we thought, this is really nice. Why is this room so new? And they said, oh, the person died and they liquefied.
Oh, like in the film Seven.
So that's because they're there for so long that no one found them.
Yeah.
How long?
It depends how hot. And
Jeez.
there's, if it's summer, it's sort of.
Jeez, Kevin.
I mean, was there someone living underneath? And
Don't do us like that, Kevin.
I wasn't expecting liquefied at 16 past 6. On
Thank you,
Monday.
Kevin. Jason in Sydney, you've also lived in a murder house.
Yeah, so long story short, I purchased a property and did a lot of research beforehand and like what I've seen, and I'm talking a lot of research. After I purchased, I lived in the house, did a lot more research, and finally came across my address that someone had been murdered in it. Unfortunately, after the 30-day settlement was up, so I couldn't take it back. I lived in it for another 2 months, and I had to move out and lease it. I couldn't
you just can't do
stay
it.
in that property.
just because, Jason, just because of the thought of it, or were you getting signs and was it a little bit haunted?
I felt there was a couple of signs going. Like, so there was next door had a piano, and they were always out at work, and randomly it would start playing, and nobody was home. That was one sign that was freaking me out. Another was I bought a brand new one of those cuckoo clocks. I had to get rid of it because it was doing like the hourly cuckoo thing at like past.
Oh, no! Get out of there, Jason!
I think that's a setting you can have on those clocks.
Yeah, and to be fair,
Run and don't look back.
No.
yeah, and they are the creepiest clocks to get, though. To be
That
fair,
and a piano.
Like,
Oh,
if you
hell
don't want to be wigged out, don't buy a grandfather or a cuckoo clock. To be honest.
Jason, thank you so much for sharing, mate. We do appreciate it. We're going to give you a $100 baguette, all thanks to Soul Origins, New Delhi range.
Legend. Thank you, guys.
No, just to clarify, the baguettes at Soul Origin do not cost $100.
You get a $100 voucher.
That you could spend on perhaps the new baguette range they have there, which is delicious. But they wouldn't be ripping the nation for $100 for a...
No.
Yeah.
You'll get many baguettes for $100,
A lot,
Jason.
a lot.
And we have got more of those vouchers to give away. 13, 24, 10. We're in the middle of the forbidden folder. Have you lived in a murder house?
Mandy in Brisbane, you lived in a murder house.
I am currently living in one. I purchased one and got $12,000 off the house for it.
Okay, so 12,000 off. I mean, it's a nice discount when we're talking homes, though. I mean, it's not a crazy discount depending on the murder, I suppose.
Mandy, Ben was saying that there's a loophole where you have to ask if somebody died in it. Is that what you did, or did they tell you straight up?
No, they had to tell me. They had to disclose it straight up when I went to look at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it was a little child, but I feel like I'm, his little guardian, and I call him John John. And, I'm quite comfortable in the house. I've even, had a bath where possibly things happened. And
Mandy. God, Mandy.
I know.
Well, look, Mandy, as long as you're happy in that house, making the best of an extremely horrible situation.
I don't think I take the 12K off the house. That's just me.
I totally agree.
I don't know if I can look past it.
I totally agree. Mandy, thank you very much. Lynette joins us in Melbourne. Have you lived in a murder house?
Yes, I have.
Tell us about it.
Well, we moved into this really old house in Box Hill, and we got it pretty cheap as well, just to rent. And then we started feeling all these creepy things around the house, and we're like, my friends and I were like, maybe we should play with the Ouija board. Just call whoever is in here. So one night we all got together. I locked my room so Mum wouldn't come in, and we played the Ouija board. And we all put our hands, with the little moving thing is, and we asked if anybody was there, and it spelled murder.
Oh.
So we all let go of it, and we freaked out because it actually moved and it spelled murder. And I said, because we asked how he got there or he got there. And then we all let go of it. So I quickly hid it under my bed. And that night I was so nervous. And then after that I woke up and my whole bed was shaking.
And Lynette, sorry to jump in here, did you ever find out if there was a murder, or was it just the Ouija board said murder?
No, we did. After, my mom brought in a priest and he did all these blessings and stuff, and all these creepy things started happening when the priest was there. And then after that, we had enough because there was so much going on in the house.
But you never did you ever Google it?
No, we didn't. The neighbor, a few houses from us, when we actually, the day that we were moving out, he's like, oh, thank God you're moving out. And my mum is like, why? It's because somebody got murdered there.
Oh, well, I think that's what we were looking for there, Lynette, because there was the Ouija and then the priest and the shaking bed. And we were sort of just looking for some hard confirmation, just some But yes, the neighbour saying, oh, yes, the murder house. Yeah, 3 people were killed there, 2 years ago. Yeah, no, I've got the newspaper right here. It happened. That's, Have you ever heard of smell-o-vision, Ben and Belle?
No, I think they do smell-o-vision in Futurama, the TV show.
Yeah, well, no, it's a thing. They're doing it for the Sydney Film Festival. So as you're watching movies the sense of the scene will be wafting through
Ah.
the cinema. So people are like, wow, this is cool. You know, it's the five senses. You've obviously got the visuals there, you know, and now we're getting the smell. I, for one, not a big fan. Not a big fan of the smell-o-vision. I like watching movies. I can't say I want to smell all of my movies. And I've been hearing a lot of ads for the smell-o-vision lately, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem great.
You've heard of 3D movies, even 4D movies. Well, what about smell-o-vision? Now you can smell all your favourite films, like Shawshank Redemption. I just love the scene when Andy Dufresne claws his way to freedom.
Andy crawled to freedom through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness I can't even imagine.
Oh, man, I love smell-o-vision. More of a comedy fan? Sit back and laugh along to a true classic, Bridesmaids. Oh, wow. When that Melissa McCarthy gets food poisoning from the dodgy Brazilian barbecue place and has to go in the sink at the bridal shop, hilarious.
Look away!
What's she doing? Oh, no.
Things are goner! What are you doing? It's coming out of me like lava!
Oh, smell-o-vision's awesome. Perhaps you prefer a heartwarming drama. Well, Slumdog Millionaire has just been fast-tracked to smell-o-vision. You can enjoy that scene where young Jamal dove into 10 tons of slushy human excrement so he could meet his favourite Bollywood actor, Amitabh Bachchan. How heartwarming. That's so cute. I can't believe you'd actually do that. Oh, my God. Book your Smell-o-vision tickets today to smell your favourite movies. There are still sessions available next week for Human Centipede.
13-24-10, what happened at sea? Ben, Liam, have you seen that video doing the rounds today of the guy out in the tinny and he gets attacked by a great white shark?
That's going to be the biggest shark I've ever seen.
Whoa! 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 He just bit my boat! He just bit my boat! I think it's time to leave.
Yeah, it was everywhere. It's all over the news.
Yeah, well, his name is Jaden Grace, and he actually joins us on the line now. Jaden, good evening. Tell us what happened.
Oh, well, it was a pretty crazy experience. Seen a massive black shadow at the front of the boat. I seriously thought it was a baby whale. At second glance, it was a monster great white that ended up circling our boat for probably like half an hour while we were fishing, and then decided to come up and have a little taste test when I put the GoPro in the water. It was a little bit scary, but it was definitely an experience, that's for sure.
So hang on, Jaden, you kept fishing whilst the great white was underneath you?
Yeah, well, as soon as the great white turned up, all the fish turned up. So it was actually pretty crazy, to be honest. That's going to be a good story to tell for a long time, I think.
It's a cracker, and you're telling it on national radio now. I mean, at any point were you scared for your life? I mean, it's a big, great white, 5 metres right underneath you. I mean, it could easily knock the tinny over if it needed to.
Oh, probably, yeah, easily could have. Yeah, it was probably bigger than my tinny, which was a bit scary, but...
Well, you're away from the shark now. You're back on land. What are you doing to celebrate not getting eaten?
Having a beer.
Nice.
Good on you, mate. We'll let you go. Thanks for joining us.
Beautiful. Thanks, guys.
I don't like fishing, but I kind of want to have a beer with Jaden and Cookie. They sound like fun guys. I mean, if I was on that boat, I'd be like, guys, we need to go back in. We need to go back in. They're like, nah, just bring in all the fish. Let's just fish for a few more hours.
Why don't we do 13-24-10, what happened at sea? If you have got a story that you want to share, give us a buzz. We have got a 12-month Netflix subscription to give away for getting involved. James in Barisi, what happened at sea?
Well, I was on a boat and got really drunk, and this girl I just met, I vomited on her, and yeah, we're married now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good ending. Good ending.
Oh, James, was this on a cruise?
Yes, yeah. We're going from Italy to Greece, and yeah. So I vomited on her arm, and she must have forgiven me at some point, and so now we're married.
And did you just sort of play it off as like a bad prawn or seasickness or something like that? Or?
Yeah, not too much alcohol at all, no.
Nah, never is.
James, we love your story. We're going to give you 12 months of Netflix.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
No worries at all. Thanks for getting involved. We have got more of those to give away. Get more of the good stuff with Belong Mobile. If you want to win one, you just have to give us a buzz. 13 24 10. What happened at sea?
Cool sea song.
Yeah, I asked for a sea shanty. What do you reckon?
Yeah, this is cool. I actually want to do the whole show of this. I think it'd actually bring the vibe up
I mean,
a bit.
it does bring the vibe. We were playing the Jaws theme earlier.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
very different vibe.
If it gets if it's a scary story, I'll get rid of it and bring back Jaws. Mike in Brizzy, what happened at sea?
Well, we come from Durban and we were on holidays in Durban, having a bit of spearfishing just off the coast, probably about 3 meters down, spearing some beautiful tuna. And then all of a sudden we speared this tuna and the shark came out of nowhere, great white, must have been, we're guessing, probably about 2.5, 3 meters long, and just took the bait right out of us and just swam away.
Whoa.
And took the whole spear gun with us as well.
But Mike, everyone was okay?
Everyone's fine. We just ducked down and we just, we're scared as hell.
Oh, I bet.
I can imagine.
I bet you were.
Well, thank you for your call.
Okay.
Hannah in Melbourne, what happened to you at sea?
A little bit of a different story here, but also on a cruise, my partner at the time and I snuck into the church part of the cruise, did the nasty, and then had our own little ceremony afterwards.
Good Lord!
That's what we're saying.
Oh, that's sacrilege.
cool.
Just in one of the pews.
Good on you, Hannah.
I think mushroom risotto.
I reckon fish fingers.
Bangers and mash.
Winner, pick their dinner.
Will tonight be the night, the hardest game in radio? We're about to call a random Australian and we're going to find out what they're having for dinner tonight. And if Liam from Perth can pick exactly what they're having, we'll pay for his. What do you think they're going to have, Liam?
Look, I think something simple, just a beef stir fry with some veggies.
Yeah, just a stir fry. Yeah, maybe a bit of Kantong sauce, something from the jar.
Mumma's
making Kantong. It doesn't take long for the word to get around. Unsponsored, but hopefully if we send that to the good folks at Kantong, they'll throw some money our way. Okay, we're calling someone now, Liam. Great ad.
Hello.
Oh, hi, how you doing? It's Liam here from Nova. We're playing Winner, Pick Their Dinner. What are you having for dinner tonight?
Leftovers of chili con carne.
Oh, sorry, chili con carne, not what we were looking for. Liam, it wasn't a stir fry. Thanks anyway for playing.
All good, thank you.
No worries. Chili con can't get the win. We try again next week. Liam, you haven't...
You could have said chili con can't get the win. But
What did I say?
can't get the win.
Yeah, he's still thinking of Kantong, I think.
Yeah, got my wires crossed, sorry. Got Canton on my mind.
Mumma's making it tonight, apparently, I heard. The word's just going around.
You're on Nova. 13 24 10. What did your boss make you do other than your job? We have got some amazing streaming prizes up for grabs if you get involved with this one. Of course, you would have seen the news by now. They've passed the laws that bosses can no longer reach out to employees after hours.
That's incredible. But then, I don't know, there is a part of me that's like, yeah, but if it's an emergency and, if you really need to get stuff done,
Belle,
surely you still can.
There is no emergencies in radio.
Well, yeah, true.
Where no one ever needs us. Other than, maybe if you've got a story between 6 and 8 p.m.
Yep, 13 24 10 is our number if you do. What did your boss make you do other than your job? Lee in Adelaide, go for it.
Hi, I was studying accounting and happened to be working at 7-Eleven when I was living in Melbourne. And boss used to get me to do his yearly tax returns,
Oh, right, because you were studying accounting, but then your boss at 7-Eleven said, can you do it? You know what? Great practice for you.
Well, look, Lee, for being the first story, we want to give you a 12-month binge subscription.
Thank you.
No worries at all. Get more of the good stuff with Belong Mobile.
And all you have to do is process our tax returns. There's 3 of them, Lee. We'll send them over.
13 24 10. We want to know, what did your boss make you do other than your job?
Ash in Melbourne. This is your dad. What happened?
My dad was a bus driver for a company down in Melbourne, and end of the year he got forced to dress up as Santa Claus for everyone's kids.
Oh, right. And was your dad a jolly fellow, or?
He was really, really good at Santa, and I'm like, I knew it was my dad, but I had to keep my mouth shut, so I didn't want to ruin Christmas for little kids.
Yeah. I get you. That does feel like a real, ask, really, doesn't it? Especially at the end of the year, you just want to go home.
Yeah, and once you've done it once, you know you're going to get that call up every year.
Harry, in Melbourne, what did your boss make you do other than your job?
My old boss had a prodigy soccer player for his son, and he made me go out on a Sunday morning about 8 a.m. and film his son play soccer for 45 minutes.
Oh, right, to make like a highlight reel.
Yeah, so I was putting a video together to help him get picked up by a club over in Europe. So his kid was like 7 or 8 at the time. It worked out because he's over there playing now. So.
Oh, Real Madrid? Who's he playing for? What's going on?
No, last I heard he was at Valencia, but I don't know where he is now.
Right.
But he's a little prodigy. So.
Yeah, man, Valencia, that's decent. La Liga. Leonie in Melbourne, tell us, your boss made you do something other than your job?
Yes, my boss used to make me plait his rat's tail.
Oh, dude. Caller of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. What a feral
and I
boss.
used to say, hey, the 80s, of course, they want their hairdo back.
Yeah. And was your boss a drug dealer, or what was going on there?
No, but I did work in juvenile justice at the time.
Right,
so.
okay.
Yeah.
My boss got me to plait his rat's tail.
Hey, Leonie, we are going to give you a 12-month binge subscription.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
So it was worth it, all that plaiting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We got more of those to give away if you get involved on Nova. 13 24 10. What did your boss make you do other than your job? Ian in Brizzy.
Hey, mate, how you doing?
Good.
So when I was an apprentice butcher, I lived next to my shop, and on more than one occasion, my boss would call me up over the weekend, and he'd be having a party, and he'd ask me to go into the shop and collect some meat and cut it up and bring it over for him in the morning.
Right. It's kind of doing your job, but not in work
Yeah,
hours.
it's like, am I getting paid for this, dude? Or like, just some Sunday chops you need, whipped up? Come on, man. Tiff, also in Brizzy, what did your boss make you do that wasn't your job?
He made me babysit his kids for the day, and when I was supposed to be working, and he swapped shifts with me. So I was at his place babysitting his kids, and he was at my work doing my shift for me.
And you weren't a nanny, were you? What did you do?
I worked at a kids' play centre, so I worked well with kids and such. So he thought, I don't want to take care of the kids today. I'll do your job, and then you can come over and take care of my kids, and I'll give you.
I don't want to look after my kids. I want to go to your job and look after strangers' kids, and then you can look after mine.
Yeah. Bit weird, actually, the more you think about it.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.